I've heard you say that current dating is just practicing for divorce. What's that mean?
It means you're learning the tools and skills required to recover from a breakup rather than how to maintain a marriage. So you are learning how to make somebody jealous, how to move on quickly, how to meet somebody new, how to play hard to get, how to play games, how to essentially ensure your relationship will not make it through the tough times. You're not learning how to sustain and maintain and how to debunk some of the behaviors in yourself that are toxic to the relationship. You're just learning how to categorize every ex of yours as a narcissist, but not about what behaviors or traits in you attract or even are narcissistic. So I think the current dating climate is purely, how do I move on? How do I protect myself? How do I not get too attached? Catch flights, not feelings. That culture is what we're being taught.
Contact. So do you think is there a better way to approach a stranger? Is it easier to DM somebody, or is it better to approach them in person?
Depending on who the woman is, I think online there's a lot of competition if she's got an open profile. If she hasn't, then it's a bit easier. In person is always better because people can read your energy. And that is something that you can't always get online. So I think in person, and if you just remove the reason why men get nervous is they're thinking, is she going to reply? Is she going to say no? Forget about that. Just make it.
I think the nerves are much higher in person. DMing someone takes nothing.
Do you get nervous speaking to girls in person?
Not anymore. I used to though.
Did you? Why?
Because it was, don't know, maybe it was just a fear of rejection.
But who cares if she rejects? There's a million others.
I think what a lot of women don't understand is that it's not nice to be rejected because you are, let's say for example, you see someone you like or you're attracted to, you actually are building up quite a lot of this self-confidence and plucking up the courage to go over and speak to her.
Yeah.
And then for you to literally just get shot down, it is like, it's quite soul destroying.
If it
really
imagine.
is.
As a girl, we don't have to experience that.
No, it's like, it's hardcore. And if, let's say, for example, maybe you do that 2 or 3 times, you get shot down 3 times, your confidence is going to be like rock bottom.
But does it sometimes make you immune to getting rejected?
But that's why I recommend guys just keep doing it again.
You get immune to it.
When you do it so often, you do become immune to it. So that's why you should do something that scares you every single day.
Yeah, absolutely. So you become immune to it, and you'll find that you'll get rejected by one girl, and then another girl who's better looking than her will be responsive. So it's not really. The thing is, men personalize rejection. So many times it's because she's having a fight with her boyfriend, she's had a bad day. It's got nothing to do with you a lot of the time. There's times where you're in a great mood and there's a guy you're not interested in and you'll still be responsive. You're like, hey, yeah, take my number because you're in a good mood. And there's other times you're in a terrible mood and it doesn't matter who he is. You don't want to speak to it. Don't personalize the rejection. It's not about you. Most of the time, it's not about you.
I think
shared hatreds are much more cohesive than shared loves. And getting people to bind together over the mutual distaste of an out-group is significantly easier than the mutual love of an in-group, which is why there are incentives online for creators to do this.
Exactly that. Because here's the thing, not every creator is trying to change your life for the better. Most creators are trying to sell you something. They're trying to get popularity. They're designed to polarize. They're designed to kind of make it online. And, and anybody could say the same for me. They're saying like, oh, you're trying to, blow up and all this stuff, which I hope people know that's not really the intention. But the reality is most creators are creating, they're not actually healing. And the problem is they appeal to the young market because there's a gap. The older psychologists who understand all the academic references and all of those things, they don't understand the young market of dating. And because of that huge gap, the young people are thinking, I don't need to go to an expert. I'll just go to this podcast with that guy and this girl, and they will tell me because they get it. They don't get it. They just get you. They get what you're going through and want to manipulate your vulnerabilities in order for you to become a consumer of this.
What advice would you give to men in their 20s?
Do not use your 20s as an extended adolescence. Do not use your 20s to just prolong being 19. Don't be all the day, every day in the clubs. Don't be every day holidays. Don't be every day spending money you don't have. Don't be every day chasing women you don't need. Use that as training ground for 30. What I find is that you'll meet men who get to 28 and have no savings, have no idea where they're going with their career, have just spent their 20s partying because they're like, I'm young. But the reality is it's training grounds. And if you get to 28 and you're just an old teenager, it's not attractive. And
you won't feel good. So fulfill your potential in your 20s while you've got the energy. You've got so much energy to work so many hours or work hard in the gym, and your energy goes down as you get older. So use it to fulfill your potential. If you get to 30 and you haven't fulfilled your potential, you will start to disrespect yourself and you'll start that depression cycle. Whereas when you fulfill your potential, by the time you get to 30, you are ahead, your mental health is going to be in a good place.
So you would argue it would make sense, and which I believe in as well, you should be spending that time trying to become the man that women want to be with, to get yourself to that top 10.
Try and be that man that women is secondary. I don't even recommend being in a relationship in your 20s, because what it does when men are in a relationship in their 20s, it kind of ticks that box off, and then less like, oh, I've got to go to the club every weekend to meet a girl, got to sleep with girls, got to go on holidays. They kind of tick that box off and focus on a bigger issue. But I always just think, fulfill your potential, whether that's your body, whether that's your work, whether that's with women. Fulfill your potential, don't settle, and then you'll be proud of yourself.
So you're saying don't be in a relationship?
Or do be in a relationship. I recommend.
Think about Jordan Peterson, right? Why he came onto the scene so much. And he used to tear up all the time telling the same story, which was these men have never had a positive word told to them their entire lives. They've never been encouraged. They've never been told that they are worthy of love or acceptance or praise or validity or any of that. Why did that message resonate? Because so many men felt and still do feel like no one sees them, that life can be hard, that they do have emotions, that they do want to open up, that they do need support, that they do want to be praised in a way. And because there is nothing deeper, I think, because there is still a challenge in maybe men opening up themselves is some of the boundaries of that have been broken, but the boundaries of men responding to men that have opened up definitely still exist in a massive, massive way. So, okay, what are the ways in which I can get some validation from the world? Well, success, money, cars, education, women, status, prestige, dominance, aggression, all of these, they're like proxies for what a lot of men want. And that's not to say I want all of those things as well, right? But they're proxies for what men miss, I think, more spiritually and existentially.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I feel like in my work, when I've worked with men who have turned to prostitution and who have turned to pornography addiction, a lot of the time, especially when they turn to prostitution or even just a gold digger, they're so hurt when she doesn't like them back. So they're not paying for sex. They're actually paying for intimacy. And I always tell them, you can't buy intimacy. You can't buy it. This girl, you can buy her a bag and you can have sex with her, but you're craving connection. And that is something you can't buy. And the reason they're craving connection is because A, they don't know where to find it. And also they're being told if they do look for connection, they're a simp. That word simp gets thrown around. So we've almost shamed men for wanting and craving connection. And I can say in honesty, the men that cheat, the men that turn to pornography, the men that turn to escorts, I'm very non-judgmental because I understand behind every self-sabotaging behavior, there is a need that has not been met for a really long time. And for that need to be met, they turn to self-destructive behavior as a coping mechanism. So I definitely think that we've got a crisis of men seeking intimacy, but believing that it's wrong. And the culture and the internet is also teaching them that it's wrong. So they're secretly craving it and then secretly finding outsourcing it in the wrong ways. Welcome to my course on masculinity, and in this course not only will I be able to completely transform your understanding of women, but on a more personal level you will enhance your self-esteem, self-respect and your boundaries. The goal of this course is to take a man that has absolutely fantastic intentions, wants to find love, wants to commit, wants to have a good healthy relationship, but is finding that he's constantly running into women who are narcissistic, who are disrespectful, who are disloyal. Now, if you are finding that continuously, then there must be something in your engagement with women that is causing this. What my course will do is look at where this problem comes from, how to resolve it, how to communicate effectively with men and women, and how to command respect. Most importantly, how to improve your self-respect. And throughout the course, you'll be given interactive sessions, but with course materials to help you channel and journal your learning. So if you are interested in becoming the most masculine version of yourself, join today.